Hi friends, hope you are doing fine. I am Dr. Ganguly. Welcome to my channel. So today I am going to discuss about the O1 visa, and essentially I have made a video previously about the J1 visa, and I have pointed out some of the problems which can happen to you if you come on a postdoc in the J1 visa, specifically the 2-year home country residency requirement. And because of this requirement, you may have to go back to your home country, serve 2 years of time there, and then you can apply once again to US on some different visa. So now what I'm going to discuss with you are essentially some facts which I know from my experience and people I know. And of course, if you are interested in more professional feedback, you should consult some immigration lawyer. So with that caveat, let me start this issue. So essentially the O1 has a different type of visa. So we are going to focus on the O1A, and the O1A essentially shows that you have extraordinary capability in the sciences, education and business and some such fields. Now O1B is often given to people in the show business, motion picture, television industry. So many times you hear of movie stars moving to the US to work in different serials or movies and so on. So these people are under O1B, but we are going to talk about O1A, which is essentially focusing on the sciences in broad and therefore also on scholarship aspects. And so this is something that people can aspire for if they have a PhD and if they have done several years of postdoc. Now this visa is essentially for 3 years and it's a temporary visa, but one of the advantages is that it has dual intent, that you can either stay in the US if you get this visa, or you can decide to go back to your home country, as the case may be. So now what is required in the O1A, that you should show sustained national and international acclaim. So these are the specific requirements. Now as you can understand, this is a very broadly defined concept, and essentially the USCIS people are going to make a determination as to whether you have successfully shown this or not. Now some of the things which can help you show this are, for example, if you have got fellowship of professional bodies, such as if you have got the IEEE fellow, if you have got prizes from various conferences such as best papers, you have got named postdocs and named PhDs, you have high H index and citation, and in most cases the O1A petition has to be filed by an employer. So in that case you should demonstrate that you have obtained a high salary. Now in some cases also startup people can go for this visa. So essentially if you are a person who is going to start a company and who has obtained a large amount of money from some venture capitalist, then also you can go for this visa. Now one of the stretch goals given here is, for example, Nobel Prize, but that would be a very small category of people who can apply for that. Now what they do is they do a quantitative analysis of the problem, and they also look at the qualitative analysis of the problem. So they start by looking at publications you have published, the papers in the conferences and journal, the quality of the conferences and journals, the impact factor of the journal, the name of the journal, and so on. Then they try to look at the fact that you are not just a contributor, but you are somebody who is judging content. So essentially if you are a referee of journal, if you are in the editorial board of journal, if you are a technical chair in conferences, maybe you are a supervisor of PhD thesis and so on, then these go to show that you have reached a level in your career where you are actually supervising the work of others, or you are in fact judging the work of others in research. So this is going to be something which will certainly boost your case. Now one thing which helps you a lot is if there are publications about you and your work in different papers. So again, this can sometimes happen that you have made a good discovery, and this discovery has been mentioned around in the literature, maybe in magazines, maybe in newspaper, maybe in web pages and so on. So some things to keep in mind is top journals, focus on top journals, look at the R1 university. So these are the top universities. So for example, if you have got a named fellowship in Stanford University or some top university, it's certainly going to help you. If you have been even nominated for the top award, so there are some cases where you may not get a top award, but even the fact that you are nominated for a top award is a big thing, so that is going to be considered. Now, of course, this all seems somewhat difficult and onerous, but the reality is that many people who I would consider relatively normal have also got this visa. And of course, there are people who are exceptional beyond any degree, like Nobel Prize winners who have got that visa. So this essential fact about what is exceptional, what is a claim, rests in the eyes of the USCIS. And so a good immigration lawyer can certainly help the case here, where they can package your stuff in a way that you come across very well. Now, this is somewhat difficult for a fresh PhD to do, but somebody who is a postdoc, and especially if somebody is a mid-career scientist who is wishing to come to the US for a few years and doesn't want to face any constraint as far as visa is concerned, they can try for the O1 visa here. You can request your host institute or your host university or your host corporation to sponsor you for the O1 visa. If you feel that you have a good publication record, if you have won some prizes, if you are in the editorial board of journals, and so on. So again, many times when in your career you are called upon to do these jobs, like you are called upon to be in the editorial board of journals or be in the technical committees or go to a conference and be technical chair, do not shy away from these facts, because all these facts essentially are very important in showing that you have mastered your field of work, that you are somebody who not only can contribute to the field of work but has reached a position where he or she can judge the field of work. So this concept about being at a level where you are able to judge a field of work, for example, if you are a referee versus just a writer of papers, or you are somebody who actually is managing a journal, this is going to be something which comes across as very well. So these were some of the facts I had for you about the O1A visa. Certainly a very good visa to keep in mind if you have some qualms about the J1 visa. And remember, there is no cap or limit on this visa, so it is not like the H1B, which just comes out and expires in a very short amount of time because of the huge amount of software people who essentially try for that visa. So there you have to essentially win a lottery in many cases to get the visa. So if you have a PhD, if you have done a postdoc, certainly you are somebody who can go for the O1A visa, and once you are in this visa, you can figure out what do you want to do. Do you want to go for a green card route and work in the US, or maybe you can go back to your home country also. All these things are possible to you. There is no exact requirement of serving a 2-year time period as it is in the J1 visa. So this was my take on the O1A visa, and keep this in mind. And if you are more interested in that, there are a lot of resources out there in YouTube, and you can also check out with some immigration lawyers. So I will end this video now, and I will see you in a new video sometime soon. See you then.